2017 is Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
We're going to build a wall.
It's not a Muslim ban, but we're totally prepared. It's working out very nicely.
The president just fanned the flames of the Charlottesville violence by saying there is blame on both sides.
The president's national security advisor is out.
Priebus and Spicer were only the latest staffers to leave the administration.
Happening now, breaking news, Scaramucci out.
Hi, Donald John Trump.
Being at the inauguration, you could see at a lot of people's faces, clearly looking around and saying, is this happening? Is Donald Trump going to be the president of the United States?
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
It looked like 1.5 million people.
Whether it is here in the United States or anywhere else, any other corner of the world, he has changed the discourse. He has changed the media coverage.
If Putin likes Donald Trump, I consider that an asset, not a liability.
Not to mention the relations and interaction that a president has with world leaders, friends and foes.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing.
It has not been an easy road with this very unusual president.
The presidency of Donald Trump has thrown down the gauntlet, not just to the rest of the world, but also to the world's media and American media.
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you stay
You are fake news.
Sir.
Go ahead.
Donald Trump has decided that he would not take anyone's advice and continued his tweets and uses that as his instrument of foreign policy and communication.
Should I keep the Twitter going or not? Keep it going?
He is a Twitter fanatic. Sometimes it's inconsequential. Other times it gets him in big trouble with his own Russia investigation, his own FBI director.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
We couldn't believe that the president actually fired his FBI director while in the middle of an investigation.
I call it the Russian hoax.
To me, so much of what has gone on in and around the Trump presidency in his first year has gone back to the question of Russia. That has tainted and has sort of cast a very real, very scary atmosphere inside and over the Trump administration. And people in and around Trump world will tell you that pretty freely. On the world stage, North Korea was, to me, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, international stories.
Rocket Man should have been handled a long time ago.
North Korea has gotten pretty far in its nuclear capability.
We will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
It's pretty rare for journalists to be given as much access to the country as we've had over the last year. Day of the Sun celebrations are now in full swing. North Korea's main focus right now is going to be on this massive military parade, a way to show strength and force to the world. And the #1 way that they like to show power to the rest of the world is by pushing the button on a nuclear test or launching a missile. Each time we go into the country, we open the door a little bit more into what life is like in that society. We're looking at them, but they're looking at us as well. Every time I try to take a picture of those girls, they run away. I've interviewed a lot of people in North Korea, but one story that really stands out to me is the story of Kim Ryun-hee. Here's a woman who defected to South Korea. She says because she was looking for medical care and she thought that she could return back to the North afterwards, only to find out that once you go to South Korea, it's illegal to return to North Korea. So I met her husband and daughter at their apartment in Pyongyang. This is a family that hasn't had any communication for 6 years. We gave them our cell phones and we let them record video messages for each other.
어머니 사랑합니다.
It was such an emotional, powerful moment. As soon as she appeared on the screen, you could see the tears welling up in her parents' eyes, in her daughter's eyes, in her husband's eyes, and in fact they started sobbing so uncontrollably. We had to leave the room and give them that moment.
우리 어머니 밝은 모습, 감당한 모습
이불을 또 보게 되니까.
What happens next really depends on the actions of the United States and North Korea. Pyongyang, for a while now, has been threatening to conduct an atmospheric thermonuclear test, the kind of which the world hasn't seen in nearly 4 decades. Will 2018 be a year for diplomacy or military escalation? And really, the answer to that question lies largely with two leaders, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un.